Today, for my morning talk show, I'm going to give you some sewing mom rules. Now, if you're not a seamstress, you need to hear these rules because it didn't occur to you. And if you are a sewer, then you will agree probably with most of these. So let's go through the list. And if you want to take notes, do it. And if you want someone else to see this, then give me a like and share it. Okay. Sewing mom rules. Don't ever ask when it will be done. All right, say you bring me something that you need altered or fixed, and it's been a couple of days. Don't ask me when it's going to be done because I don't know. I have things to do and you're not priority usually. All right, number 2, do not cut anything with my good shears. Don't touch them even. If you see a pair of scissors lying there, say, are those your good scissors? And ask, can I touch them? Because usually the answer will be no. What are you cutting with? No. All right. Don't tell me to hem your pants. Why don't you learn how to do your own hem? It's not that hard. That's the simplest thing. Sewing on buttons and learning to hem. You need to learn to do it yourself because I have more important things to sew. Do not speak to me if I have a seam ripper in my hand. Because if you ask a question that surprises me or makes me mad or something, I might ruin what I'm ripping with it. Don't ever tell me that I have too much fabric or ask me why I'm buying that fabric. Because haven't you ever heard, she who dies with the most fabric wins? I want that bumper sticker. Just because I have my ironing board up doesn't mean you can bring me clothes of yours to iron. No, I'm not going to iron them. I'm busy. You are welcome to use the ironing board, but don't ask me to do it. If you have a thread from a button or a seam, do not pull it. Never pull it. You get scissors and you cut it off. Or use your teeth to break it off, but don't ever pull it. Never pull it. All right. Don't look at the floor under my sewing machine. Or take pictures of it. Or ask me, why are all those threads on the floor? What are you doing? When are you going to clean it? Just don't even look at the floor under my sewing machine. Do not wonder out loud why I'm still in my pajamas. Or why am I sewing when I'm not dressed yet? Because the sewing is more important than getting dressed right now. Maybe I'm repairing or hemming what I'm going to wear. So just don't even ask why I'm still in my pajamas when I sew. Do not come in and ask me what's there to eat. I'm not breastfeeding anymore, so don't come to me for food. Do not say, what's for dinner? When are we going to eat? I'm sewing right now, not cooking. Don't ask me to teach you to sew. I don't know how many people, oh, you sew? I want to learn to sew. Teach me to sew. Do you know how many years it took me to get where I am now with sewing? You can't just sit down and, okay, I'll teach you to sew. Sit down right here and I'll teach you. No, maybe crocheting, but not sewing. It takes a lot of practice. You're going to have to make a lot of mistakes to get it right. You're going to have to learn to read a pattern. It's a big process. It isn't a sew in one sitting. It is a course. All right. Don't call me and ask me what's wrong with your sewing machine over the phone. Do you know how many people have done that to me? My sewing machine isn't working right. What do I do? I don't know. What kind of needle are you using? What kind of thread's in it? What kind of machine is it? I can't tell you how to fix your machine over the phone. So, these are just simple rules for people who sew. And these rules need to be put out there more for people who don't sew. All right. Now, it's a beautiful day today, and I'm going to go to town, and I'm trying to get a hold of this attorney, and I'm going to finish my yo-yo quilt. I got all of the yo-yos done. I just have to sew them together. So I'm hoping to get that done today because I want to start a new project. What is my next project going to be? Painting the shelves in my bathroom behind the door. Because when I remodeled my bathroom, which it was just redecorating, it wasn't remodeling. Because if I was going to remodel it, that means I'm going to rip up the floor and get a new counter and sink. The bathtub and the toilet are fine, but I want a new sink and counter, and the floor. My husband put beige floor in there. I want white floor, marble or something floor, you know. He knows how to do it, but he's not able right now. So I'm going to paint. I never painted the shelves behind the door. I painted everything else, the ceiling and everything around. I got to take everything out of the shelves and go through it and paint it. So that is my next project on my to-do list. And then, do I have another sewing project? I don't know right now. I did all my mending. That's good. I do want to make, in the future, a sheet. Teach you how to make a sheet for an odd-shaped mattress. It's very simple. And I am going to have plans to do that for you because, and I'm going to go to Autumn, my granddaughter, and get her mattress for her little new baby bed. And then use it to demonstrate on. Now, what am I going to do in the future? I still have to show you my cruise clothes and what I bought for cruise clothes and how to pack and some of my things I always do on a cruise. Let's see, what else? I'm going to teach you how to make a sheet to stay on your bed. The fitted sheet, I have one over here that keeps popping off the edge. So I'll show you what I do to make a sheet stay on. It's a sewing project though. I'm going to show you how to put on sunless tanning because, you know, well, not here, but some places it's getting to be spring. And there are some right and wrong ways to put on your sunless tanning. And shorts from Temu. I'm going to show you how to measure and how to get the right shorts. Because, you know, when you're older, you don't want those short shorts. And maybe you do. You can wear what you want. But I'm going to show you what I found out about my shorts from Temu. All right. And I'm looking through my notes because I always write notes. I have a funny story. Maybe I should just tell it now. Because it's pretty funny. When we were on the last cruise, I'm walking. Jamie and I are in the buffet getting our own food. And if you haven't ever been on a cruise, it's really cool because they have like one section would be pizza, one sandwiches. You can order your own and they make them right then. Or the salads, or the Chinese food, or the American food. And, you know, you go to different sections, the desserts. So we kind of split up. We kind of find our table first and split up. But this day we didn't have a table yet. And so we both kind of had our plates there. So we're looking around for the table. Well, Jamie spots one that people are getting up. So he runs over there with his food. He always likes to get soup. I'm not going to get soup on a cruise. I want real food, you know, that I don't cook and make easy. So here he is going over there to the table to get it. And just then, now in this buffet where the tables are, there's carpet, indoor, outdoor kind of carpet. He has his bowl of soup and he's excited about a table, I guess. And he holds it the wrong way and the soup slides off his plate. He always kind of holds them down. I told you how he spilled his pancakes and syrup all down in the chair. Luckily, it was vinyl. But he spills his whole bowl of soup. This is a crowded place. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so I just walk the other way, go to the other side and find a table. Well, anyway, I'm just like, I'm not even going to be a part of that. So anyway, he comes walking finally. He realizes, where'd she go? Has more food. Where'd she go? And then he finds me over there and he goes, where did you go? Why didn't you come with me? And I said, I saw you spill your soup. I didn't want to be with you at that moment. So I'm not with him. Anyway, so that is a suggestion. If you're with somebody and they do something you don't like, I'm not with them, right? Anyway, and then we're in the pool. And this is mostly old people on a cruise during the school year, you know. So Jamie always is trying to find somebody to talk to in the pool, anywhere, in the dining room, anywhere. He wants to talk. He loves to talk to people. And, you know, I'm just like, I don't want to be their friend, really. I just want everyone, let's go when nobody's there, you know. So here he is in the pool, and I'm watching him. And he is literally walking in the pool. Of course, it's all about 5 foot now, because I can walk. It's like to here, you know, it's not very deep. Walking, chasing people around. You could tell they're trying to get away from him to go over here to talk. And I have a video of him chasing people in the pool, trying to tell them about how he's trying to discover the physics of the world and his tectonics plates and all the things he loves to talk about. And I just have to laugh because one day, I mean, he cleared the pool out. People were just getting out. And then he'd go to the next person. Pretty soon that person would get out of the pool. And he just is all the time trying to find somebody that somebody will want to listen to him. I think he might have to pay somebody. Well, people want me to interview him. So I tried to go through and write some questions down, what I would ask if I was going to interview him. I already know the answers to every question I could think of. And then the other questions that I want to ask him, probably don't even care what the answers are. Does he like dog or cats better? Horses or cows? I can't think of any questions to ask him. And some of the questions you do not want to even bring up. My children have learned that. Do not bring up any questions of science or you will not get away for an hour. It's like my dad too. They don't just give a little answer. The answer is an encyclopedia answer. So there's some subjects and questions I don't even want to get there to talk about because, you know, okay. And then he has the Burtons, that side of the family. They all had this problem with saying it 3 times. Whatever they're saying, they say it 3 times. Like if you ask, you know, how'd the tractor work? He has to say it in 3 different ways. Okay, I already heard it twice. You don't have to say it again in a different way. So that also gets boring. All right. Then I just don't know I think the people that watch my channel do not want to hear about some of his, I know some of you do, but he's a very boring speaker he had a garden class and people wanted to go to the garden class to learn how to grow food. What do I put in the dirt? What seeds grow best? How often do I water it? You know, those kind of things. He got into this deep Latin names of all the plants and telling you. And, you know, I'm just like, Jamie, they don't want to know that. They just want to know how do they grow a carrot and corn and what kind of soil additive and how to check the soil. And, you know, we want to know how deep to put the seed and stuff like that. So that's why I'm leery about. And then he practices what he would say. He talks to himself all the time. Because he told me, I said, why do you talk to yourself all the time? He goes, because nobody will listen to me. Oh, that's so sad. And he answers back when he talks to himself. But he practices what if he was going to tell somebody about his physics and stuff. If anybody wants any papers he has, let me know. Like his he wrote a whole physics papers. But let me tell you, when you read it, you won't understand it, you know. I don't even know. I read the words. It's like how to fix or do something on your computer or something. You read the words, but it doesn't register because you don't know what those words mean. So I don't know if we want him on my channel. Some people want to hear about the glaciation period and the fossils and everything. And 65 million years ago. I had to hear that all the time. And when you go traveling in the car trip with him, Levi and Hillary went with us when Ari was a baby, and we were going out to Oregon, and so we went together. And it was so fun. But when we got there, they asked him, "How was the trip, Levi?" And he's like, "I never heard about trees, so many names of trees in my life," because he gives you the tutorial, the whole travel trip. He could be a tour guide telling you about what the Stone Age and what the geographic area we're going through and what kind of tree it is and any animals or birds. You just get the whole. Going in Idaho, there was a volcano that killed all the dinosaurs in Idaho years ago. You got to hear that whole thing again. And being the wife, I've heard it all. And I remember my mother would always say, my dad's name was Cuddy, "Cuddy, they don't want to hear it." Now I'm finding myself saying, "Jamie, they don't want to hear it." I could tell by people's faces. And then with his heart surgery, he loves to tell people about his heart surgery over and over again. And I tell him, "Jamie, you already told that person all about your heart surgery. It was 5 years ago. They don't want to hear it again." And what makes him think if he tells me the Latin name of anything, any plant, I'm going to remember it? I don't remember that Latin name. Then he'll ask me questions. I mean, deep questions. And I look at him and I go, "Do you actually think I would know the answer to that question? Why are you asking me that?" "I don't know, and I don't even care." We're not a very good match as far as that goes. But we do match up good because I can balance him. And then he can budget the money better than me. And then my weaknesses are his strongs. And then his weaknesses, his social, because, he has Asperger's. The other day, he's sitting on the bed. "I don't understand why you think I have Asperger's. What is it?" I said, "Ask Alexa, and she'll tell you." So he did. And then he found out that Asperger's is like a social thing, and they gravitate to one subject and, focus on that. And he always has had a winter project focusing on writing a paper about the glaciation or the zebra or he has all these, the horse, all these papers that he writes every winter. So I said, and then after he heard what she said, the definition was he kind of was just silent. I said, "Now do you see? Yes, you do. You do have Asperger's. They have different degrees. And that doesn't mean Asperger's is not a good husband, because he's a very good husband and he's kind, except when he says I look like a nutcracker, because I have these showing up deeper and deeper. "You look like a nutcracker. You're starting to look just like my grandma." "What makes you think I want to hear that? She had gray hair." Anyway, so he doesn't know the social things to say that are correct. He goes up to his nephew. "How come you turned out so short?" He's a grown man. You don't say that to people. He knows he's short. He doesn't know why he turned out short, so don't bring it to his attention. And then my granddaughter one time, she has some stretch marks, on her side right here. He goes, and she wasn't married, and he goes, "What are those?" And of course, everybody knows what stretch marks are. And then she just kind of starts crying, "Stretch marks. Well, you shouldn't have those. You haven't had a baby or anything yet." And then she's crying and leaving the room because she got so. I said, "Jamie, you don't point out people's flaws like that. That's rude. So I've had to teach him some social behaviors. When people call, you don't just say, "Okay, I got to go. All right, bye." When they're talking, they want to visit a little. If they called, my mother always told me, when a person calls you, it's up to them when it's time to hang up. So you don't cut them off and say, bye. Let them do the buying. Is that true, do you think? My mother was very proper, and she, always had a feeling about somebody that ended up being a crook. My mother said they were. My mother knew, so she was very astute. Is that a word? She was very keen on all that. But I'm not saying Jamie is a bad husband. He makes all of us laugh. He will talk about the same subject forever. One time, Trevor, Misty, Jamie, and I went to Idaho Falls, and we're on our way back in a pickup. So the back seat was, they're horrible seats. But anyway, I remember that. And we decided when Jamie got in the car, he was telling us how Home Depot's customer service is so bad. And you wait around and look for someone to help you. You can't find anybody to help you. And Lowe's is better than Home Depot. And Home Depot's so bad. So we made up this thing that we were going to see how long we could keep Jamie talking about that subject. Oh, we were almost home and we were just laughing at each other, Well, what about that, Jamie? Why do you think it's that way? And we gotta, isn't that mean? No, he makes us laugh. We have a good time with Jamie, and he knows now how he is because we have kidded him so much about it. One time we went to this place, Senator Crapo's house, for my nephew's wedding, was marrying his adopted daughter or something. So anyway, it was at Senator Crapo in Idaho. And so here Jamie's walking over to Senator Crapo, and my brother, the groom's father, goes, "Quick, somebody rescue Senator Crapo from Jamie," because we were afraid he was going to start talking physics with him. And, we had to get him out of there and waylay him because, we didn't want to get a bad name for ourselves. We're already Wyomingites. And then the way Jamie dresses, and I try to tell him, you can't wear that. You look like a Wyomingite on the cruise ship. They're going to know, they're going to say, yeah, I'm from Wyoming. And they're going to look at you and go, yeah, I knew that by the way you're dressed. So I've improved his clothing, but it doesn't come natural to him at all. But anyway, I'm not being critical of him. I love him to death. He makes me laugh. We go on a cruise. He does these funny things that make me laugh. I'll tell one last story on him. When you're in a Carnival cruise and, you could have the beds made up twins or a king pushed together. Well, we always have the king. So right above your bed back here is a light switch for out the door there. And Jamie didn't know that light switch was there. So every time he walked over by that door, because he's on this side of the bed where that light is, every time he touched the curtain or walked by the door and I was in bed, I would, just reach up and turn the light switch. And then he would touch it again and I'd turn it again. He didn't know I was doing it at all. He goes, "There must be a short over here or something. Look at this." And he touched it and I turned the light. And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I never knew it. I mean, I didn't do it when I was over there. It just must be you." Well, I kept it going the whole cruise. And, I try not to laugh and carry it on. So anyway, then one day he went to the crew, not the captain, but the guy who cleans your room, steward. He goes, "There's something wrong in our bedroom." I said, "Jamie, come on." He can't understand. He doesn't speak English. Come on. No, Jamie goes, "Just a minute, I got to tell him. There's a short in there or something with that light because every time we go by the window and touch it, it goes on and off." And the crewman, that steward, he didn't really understand what Jamie's talking about. And I just, okay, come on, Jamie, it'll be fine. So on the last day of the cruise, I told Jamie, Jamie, he was over there by it. And I turned the light on and he goes, "See, look." And I said, "Yeah, look over here." And I pointed the light switch and turned it off and on. He got kind of mad. "You're making a fool of me the whole time." I said, "No, Jamie, I'm just trying to educate you to be more aware of what people are doing around you and figure things out better." It's mean of me. Anyway, I do. I like to trick him. He knows I do. Because, he'll say, he might have some nose hairs or ear hairs hanging out, and I'll say, "Oh, let me get him." This is when we were first married. He's kind of on to me now. So I'll get the tweezers, and instead of pulling it out fast, I just pull it out real slow. The nose hairs is really fun to do. Just pull it real slow, and he's like, "Ah." And then when he wants me to get him a drink out of a pop out of the fridge. So I get it, and it's so really cold. And I pretend I trip right before I give it to him, so the cold pop lands on his legs or his arm or something, you know. I love doing that too. So I always love tricking him and doing things like that to him. So we have a good marriage and we laugh. You got to keep laughing in your marriage. And that's what we do. And, you know, he enjoys me, but he's on to me now. Like, I can't tell him, let's drive to the rock formation up here, like I did that one time, because I wanted to see a sight I wanted to see. Alrighty, that is my morning show for today. Have a wonderful day. Do something productive. And we're going to go to the heart doctor. Okay, bye.